Alright, Detective Talk of the Day, April the 10th, 7:53 in the morning. You're going to have some people out here on the YouTube circuit, you know. And they're showing you maybe how they're running their machine, you know. You got this one guy, you know, he's got this sweeper program. Just because you find stuff with how you've got a detector set up doesn't mean you're finding everything. Now this Deus too, you know, this Elaine, you know, he's the owner of that company. He left single frequency on that Deus too, didn't he? Goes up to about 40.4 kilohertz. You know, that might not be such a bad idea to use in a site, but you don't see a lot of people showing YouTubes running that machine in single frequency. Now remember, when you're in an old relic site, ID is not really your forte, is it? And naturally, you can always transition out of single frequency to a multi-frequency program to look at a target located with single frequency. What I mean by that, maybe there are some nuisance lower conductive targets in that site. And that may be why you opt to go with multi-frequency, because it does ID better. Just remember this though. It generally IDs better on targets. You gotta have it has to detect the target. So if it can't detect the target, it probably can't ID the target, right? Hence you're going right by it. So I'm gonna show the 9-inch coil with a WS6 and an external speaker. Okay, we're gonna look at sensitive FT, fast, all with silencers of 1. No notch, speed 2.5. We're going to look at the relic program with a 0 to 40 notch, speed 2.5. They're all at the same frequency, 40 kilohertz band number 3. We're also going to look at single frequency at 40.4 kilohertz with a 6.6 disc, silencer 1. Speed 2.5, all at 90 sensitivity. Alright, I'm just going to show you what could happen to you at a site should you decide to get tunnel vision with this machine. Going the multi-frequency route in some of these relic sites with iron. Now, I sort of got a little unlucky. I'm going to be honest with you. This man that owns this site down here from me, about 4 miles away to Crow Flies. Had he not leased that to some crop folks, if I could have got down there when this Deus 2 come out and run that machine in that site, since I had done hammered it with a high frequency running 30 kilohertz roughly, single frequency, and the low frequency calls, as well as the Equinox, running multi-frequency, but that was with an 11-inch call. If I could have took this Deus 2 with this 9-inch call down there, this ground would have not been disturbed, and run this machine in multi-frequency, just to have seen the quantity of targets I would have, you know, located that I would have missed, this would have told me a whole lot more, but unfortunately I didn't get that opportunity. Okay, so now I chose this nail here. It's a square nail, but it's got that round head on it. Okay, it's going to be more or less at the same plane as that nickel, laying in that configuration, sweeping about 3 2x4s heights above it. So what would happen to you in the wild if you come over that? Maybe. All right, we're going to see here. Okay? So, I done told you how the machine is set up. This is sensitive FT and the offset's at 10 full tones. Alright? You hear that? Okay? Now we're going to remove that nickel because there's something here you need to see. So that don't sound too good, does it? I'm cheating that nail. I'm over the nail. I'm over the nickel. Okay? Fast program. Silencer 1. So you get to hear that. Okay? Okay, Deus Mono. You hear that? That sounds pretty good, don't it? That's a dead ringer, ain't it? I got 74, 78 and a meter. Let's just rotate it on it here with a single frequency. We got a 4850. Relic program. Remember, it's got notch in it now. You see my ID? I'm straight over the top of that nickel. Okay? Now, let's back up. Sensitive FT. And there's something to learn from this video too. Additionally here, you're going to see. Okay? So now we're still at sensitive FT. Listen. So you hear how that sounds, right? The nickel is down there, and there's that old square nail, got that round head. Now I've took the nickel out. What do we get now? You hear that? So that's what we've got. There's no nickel down there. Fast program. The nickel's still removed. Listen. So what I'm saying is with the nickel removed, would you think there's a target down there more so versus with the nickel not removed in the fast and the sensitive FT? Here's the fast again. Okay. Deus Mono. Okay, now I've got a 6 in the meter, but you get to hear how that sounds. And I'll put the nickel back in a minute. Okay, here is the relic program. Straight over that nail. What do you hear? 0. Now, in the mono program, you may not be able to run notch. You can run notch. The only problem is there could be some non-ferrous scenarios that report low single digits giving good audio. Alright? So that's the relic program with the 0 to 40 notch. I'm going to back through it again. Deus Mono. Fast program. Sensitive FT. Okay, now I'm going to put the nickel back in there. You see it? It's right there. There's no tricks in this video now. We're still in sensitive FT. So would you ever stop on that? Would you rotate on that? Fast program. Now I'm going to remove the nickel. We're going to resweep with the fast program. So there really ain't a whole lot of difference in how that sounds with or without the nickel there, huh? In the fast program. Okay. Deus Mono. That's crystal clear, ain't it, boys? Whole different ball game versus when the nickel is removed. You would stop on that in an old relic site every day of the week. There's nickel removed, Deus Mono. We're hearing some iron tone. Nickel back in there. We don't even hear any real iron tone, do we? Notice that. Let's rotate 45 degrees on this. Good signal. Relic program. Now we already heard what this machine does without the nickel down there. You don't hear anything. Let's rotate 45 degrees. We've got about a 4950. We've got strong audio. Okay. Now you see how long that nail is because you got a pretty good idea of how the diameter of a nickel. You see I'm using some coil hide here, okay? So what do you think? That could be in a sight. You could go right over it running multi-frequency sensitive FT and fast on this machine, couldn't you? You wouldn't be none the wiser, would you? So the moral of this story is, don't discount single frequency and don't discount using the Relic program. Now I dialed this Relic program to 40. See it there? No discrimination IR on. There's the notch. Okay? That could exist in sights. Now, if you cross this, you know, I'll turn the machine back to sensitive FT. See, we hear it there. So I'm coming around it. Isn't that what happens? Now I'm back over here. Let's transition to mono program. Now I'm in the most difficult. I'm coming around. I've got 360 degrees detection on that nickel. That could be a gold ring. That could be a prize relic for somebody. Expect mid-lower conductors, though, to do better on that. This machine to do better. That's going to conclude the video.